Alright guys, this is kind of a weird angle for me to shoot at because there's so many monitors going on here. It's crazy. But basically what I have set up here is the MacBook Retina. This is the older one, the first gen Retina MacBook Pro here. And then on this side I have the Thunderbolt display. And then over here I'm using the Seiki 4K television. This is a 39-inch. But you can see how big it is. Now, I'm not ready to edit 4K video just yet, but I have been reading on the websites that it works great as a monitor, and the Retina can actually output full 4K from the HDMI port. The only problem is it drops down to 30 Hertz, but still, it's good enough to use as a monitor when you are working with like pretty static graphics or websites. It gives you a lot of real estate. So let me show you what that looks like. I'm gonna have to move in a little bit here. Right now this is what Final Cut looks like on my desktop, the MacBook Retina. And you can see it takes up the entire screen here, so you don't get much real estate when you're working in this screen, which is the reason why I ended up getting a Thunderbolt display. You can see I have a lot more room to work with over here in the Thunderbolt display. And then as I move this over to the Seiki, you can see how much more real estate I'll have to work with Final Cut. So again, let me bring this back down. This is what that window looks like in the Seiki 4K TV at full 4K res. And as I bring it down to my Retina here, you can see it takes up the entire screen. So the Seiki does work great as an additional monitor. So again, all your websites out there, your Facebooks and your Twitters, you know, they're all going to look great on this screen. Text is very sharp. So let me push in a little bit. I don't know if my camera is focusing, but the text is actually very sharp. I actually had to change the image on this. It can become, I actually had to reduce the sharpness, reduce the contrast, and reduce the brightness on this monitor. So there's a lot of settings in here that you could do to really make it look much better. But let me show you guys YouTube here. Let's go full screen with this YouTube. So that's actually the entire YouTube channel right here. So as I mentioned, you can use it as a monitor. It's great. It's great for a monitor if you're working in graphics like Photoshop. But it does drop down to 30 Hertz. So video playback is not going to look good as a Thunderbolt display. But just for kicks, let me play a video here on YouTube and you can see what that kind of looks like. So for some people it's not highly noticeable, but you know, it's not going to play video as well as the other monitors. Still, it is possible that it does play video. But anyways, if you're curious about whether your MacBook Retina can run both a Thunderbolt screen, this one's using the display port, and then the Seiki 4K is using the HDMI port, full 4K res at 30 Hertz. You know, it's all possible. And I'm glad I picked this one up because this one is only about $480 as opposed to buying a monitor with less resolution for about $1,000. Gave me a lot more real estate. Now I wouldn't use that as my primary monitor. I would still use a Thunderbolt as my primary monitor, but as a secondary monitor out of HDMI to get that much desktop space is great. So anyways, that's a quick look at the Seiki hooked up to my MacBook Retina Pro, and this guy I believe maybe even going on sale on Black Friday. So check out those links in the description below. And you know, this is the cheapest 4K TV out on the market.